So I'm going to be shooting natural light for the shoot. I'm going to be using my Nikon Z5 right here and my 85 1.8mm lens. So I'm just going to fix it right now. Make sure those twice things are aligned if you want to fix the lens like this. Just twist it like that. So I'll just put my SD card right now. And I'm using the SanDisk SD card. This is the 5 gig. So you can see right here. So I'm just going to put it. And I'm just going to head out right now and just take a few shots. And I'm in front of my house. So as you can see, the weather is looking calm. And there's no direct sunlight. Everything is just nice. So I'm going to shoot a picture right now. So let's get started. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take my ISO down to 100 like this, and take my f-stop to 2.5 like this, and take my shutter speed up to 200 of a second. And I'm just going to take a test shot so you can see. Put for me. Alright, so let's see. This is the image. You can see how dark it's looking. So I'm going to take my ISO up a little bit to compensate for that. I think I'm going to use ISO 250 of a second and let just shoot. You can see this yellow thing on the eyes. It means the eyes is on focus. So if you want to get a sharp image, make sure you are focusing on the eyes. So you can see that yellow dots on the eyes. It's focused on the face. If I just take this picture right now, the image is going to be on focus. Let me just remove that autofocus and just focus on another part of the body. So if I just focus, let's say I focus on this part right here. If I take a picture right now and I zoom in, the image is going to be kind of blurry because I was not focused on the face. So let me just switch back to automatic focus and just focus on the face so you can see. So I'm using ISO 250 of a second. My f-stop is on 2.5 and my shutter speed is on 1/28 of a second. So right now we're just going to take a couple of shots, and after that I'm just going to show you guys how I process the raw image in Capture One before taking it in Photoshop to do the skin retouching and just make the image look good. So let's just take a couple of shots right now, and I'm going to open this image in Capture One, so stay tuned. Now that I'm trying Capture One, I'm just going to make the image even more better. As you can see, this image is right here. The white balance is not looking good. It's looking a bit greenish. So I'm going to fix the white balance for this image first. That's the first thing I'm going to do. So I'll just come to my white balance and just come to the tint. Just move the tint towards the purple side like this. A little bit. So I think 5 works for this image, or let's use 4. Like this. So let's just see the before and after. So you can see it was looking a bit greenish, and I just add a little bit of purple to the image, and you can see how it is right now, before and after. I'm going to take it a little bit down to 3. 3 works for me, like that. And after that, next what I'm going to do, I'm going to crop this image. So I'll come to my crop tool, click on it, and just click on 4:5 like this, and just crop the image 4:5. I like the image like this. Now next thing I'm going to do for this image, I'm just going to come to my exposure and just bring the exposure up a little bit like this to, let's say, 0.18, and I'll come to my shadows for my high dynamic range. If you're using the Capture One, I'll come to my high dynamic range. I'm just going to take the highlights down a little bit, open the shadows a little bit, open up the whites, and take the blacks a little bit down like that. Now let's see what we started from where we are right now. So I'm going to see the before and after. This is the before and this is the after. So I'm seeing a little bit of blues on the image, which I don't really like in the shadows. So I'm just going to take those blues away from the shadow area because I really don't like them, and I'm seeing them is distracting to me. So to do that, I'll just come to my curves right here, and I'll come to my blues. Since I want to work on the shadows, I'm going to click on the shadows once like this, on the shadow area on the curves once like this, and I'll do another one right here, and I'll do another one right here, and I'll just come to this first one right here, which I did, and just take it down a little bit to add a little greens to the shadows like that. So I think like this works. So I'm going to take it up a little bit like this. So let's see the before and after. This is the before and this is the after. So I feel this image is looking okay like this. But what I'm going to do next, I'm going to add a little bit of colors to the highlights and the midtones. So to do that, I'll just come to my color balance and just come to midtones. Just play with the colors and see which one works best. So I think I'm going to add a little bit of oranges to the midtones, and I'm going to take the amount up, and maybe the brightness, take the brightness up a little bit like this, and take the amount down a little bit, just to add a little bit of amount to it. And I'll come to the shadows. I'm going to play with colors and see which one works best for the shadow. I think this color works for the shadow. I'm just going to take the amount down a little bit like this, and take the brightness down a little bit for the shadows like that. And I'll come to the highlights. I'm going to play with colors and see which one works best for the highlights. So let's just play with the highlights and see which color works for the highlights. I think I'm going to leave the highlights the way it is in normal. I'm going to leave the highlights the way it is originally. So let's see what we started from and where we are right now for this particular image. So this is the before and this is the after. The before and the after. The last thing I'm going to do for this image before taking it into Photoshop, I'm just going to add more contrast to the image. And to do that, I'll come to my curves adjustment layer again. This time click on RGB and just create an S curve. So I'll put one dot in the shadows, another one in the midtones, and another one in the highlights. And the one for the shadows, I'm going to take it down a little bit like this. While for the one for the highlights, I'm going to take it up a little bit like this. While the one for the midtones, I'm going to take it up a little bit like this as well. Now I feel the ones for the shadow is too much, so I'm going to take it up a little bit like this. So I feel the image is balanced like this. So that's all I'll do for capture one before taking this image to Photoshop and retouch it. So this is the before and this is the after. So this image right there is the final image after I retouch it in Photoshop. So let me just open this image Photoshop and show you what I did to retouch it. For this image, this was, let me just hide everything. Okay, this was how I brought the image into Photoshop originally, you can see. And for here, I just removed the blemishes. Then I did a little bit of micro dodge and bond for this one right here. And I just created the stamp visible layer. And for this stamp visible layer, I did a little bit of blemishes removal as well. If you can just look at this place right here. So this is the before, and this is the after. So I did a little blemishes removal. And then I run my focus separation action for here. And I just blend the skin tone with my mixer brush tool. So you can see the before and the after with the mixer brush tool with focus separation. So this is the before and this is the after. The next thing I did, I created another focus separation action again just to smoothen out the wrinkles of the shirt. So you can see this is the before and this is the after for the other focus separation. And next thing I did a eyes and teeth whitening. So this is the before the eyes and teeth whitening, and this is the after eyes and teeth whitening. You can see the before, the after. The next thing I did, I just removed those stray hair on the image. So this is the before and this is the after for the hair, the before and the after. So I just work on the hair a little bit. Next thing I did liquify for the image. So this is before liquify on the hair and this is after liquify. The before and the after, the before and the after. Now next thing I did for this image, just did a little bit of camera settings for this image. And for the camera settings, what I did, I just smoothened out the skin just to make it look softer. Then I did a little bit of calibration, color calibration to the image. And also I just make the image pop a little bit in capture one. So this was before capture one and this is after capture one. The before and the after. So I can choose to stop here if I want, because this image is looking good like already like this. But I just wanted to add a little bit of contrast to this image and just fade the image a little bit and add a little bit of grains to the image. So I just added a little bit of contrast to the image using the selective color. So this is the before and this is the after. So what I did, I just made the blacks a little bit blacker and I just make the highlights right here stand out a little bit. So this was the before and the after. And another thing I did for this image, I just faded the image using cover adjustment layer. So this was before I faded the image and this is the after, the before and the after. So I was going for that faded look, which I really like. So this was the before, so this was the before and this is the after. And the last thing I did for this image, I just add a little bit of grains to the image. So this is the before and this is the after. So I just reduce the opacity of the grains. If I take it up to 100, you can see the grains are more obvious, but I felt it was too much, so I just have to reduce the opacity a little bit like this to 45. So this is the before and this is the after. So basically that's all I did for this image. So let me just go back to caption one and show you the original image, the before and after, and where we are right now. So this is the original image and this is after I finish editing the image. So this is before So this one right here is the before and this is the after. If you learned anything for this video, make sure to give this video a like. And if you want to learn how to retouch your image using micro dodge, click on the video showing your screen right now. I'll see you guys in my next video. Stay creative.